Hey, welcome back to Fat Kid Garage. I know it's been a while since I've posted a video, at least I'd say a year and a half, probably more closer to a year and a half since I've posted a video. And, you know, life has to get you when it can, so I had to get a regular job. I couldn't work in the shop anymore, but things are slowing down a little bit at work, so now I can get back to making some videos. And I wanted to start this one off saying that it still is possible to find old hot rods for a fairly decent price, fix them up, and still make a profit on them if you have to. So today, I believe, is August 22nd. The project I got is a 66 Mustang, and my goal is to get a running, driving, streetable car in, I guess, 2.5 weeks. So that's my goal, and I'm gonna take you out here and show you what the car looks like. So this is the car that I decided to start with. I just bought it last night. It is a 1966 Mustang Coupe. It's in fairly decent shape. It's had some questionable body work done, but the body's really solid. There's not a lot of rust in it. It's had quarters and stuff put on it. It's essentially been sitting for, I would say, the last 10 years beside a guy's house. It's not perfect by any means. Almost all the parts to get it running are here. That's how the guy blew up the last motor, was nitrous. But I would say all in all, it's not too bad. The interior is actually pretty decent in the car. Let's open this up. Again, I have all the door panels and everything like that, but I would say all in all, the interior is not too shabby. But I wanted to do this video to show you that you still can find and buy projects and get them back on the road and either have something cool or flip them and make a profit. The engine in this is supposed to be a built 302. Again, I take that with a grain of salt when I hear it, but it's got some Performer RPM heads. It's got a Torque 2 intake. It's got some older, MSD ignition stuff on it. The car was running and driving at one time, but again, it sat for the last 10 years after he blew it up. Came with, it came with this teardrop hood. It's just in white gel coat, not painted. All the rest of the parts are in the shop, and I still got to go down and get some other parts from the guy, like the radiator and miscellaneous. But this is the project we're going to start with. Haven't figured out a name or if we're going to name it, but we'll go ahead and get it in the shop and see how the underside looks like. Okay, so I got the car in the shop and on the lift. Figured I'd do a quick walk around underneath it, kind of show you the condition. It's got a little rust hole there from the battery tray. That's pretty typical on these early Mustangs. The rest of it is actually in really good shape as far as inner aprons go. Still all stock suspension, still, drum brakes on all four corners. It does have new brake lines, so I'm assuming that somebody's been inside here and rebuilt that. But again, I'll take a look at it. Bushings aren't horrible. They're still there, at least. They're not all tore up. The actual rubbers aren't in bad shape. This is a manual steering car. The headers up here have been slightly massaged to make clearance for the Z-bar, and it kind of moves, but I'll probably have to do some work on that to get it to work. No bolts on the motor mounts. Have to address that. Starters in it. There was no exhaust. That car actually comes with a side exhaust that I will not be using. Gotta get the speedometer back in the transmission. Get the e-brake hooked up. This side of the floor is actually in really good shape. Over here we do have some rust coming through. There's the carpet. But even this isn't horrible for this generation of Mustang. The floors are original and in pretty decent shape. All the parts are here for the e-brake. Just got to get them on. Going towards the back. Again, floors are in good shape. Rails are in good shape. It's got an 8-inch rear end. You can see up there the separation between the old inner quarter and the new quarter they put on it. They probably should have had inner quarters done too, or the inner panel done too in the wheel well, but they didn't. They just did outer quarters. This side of the trunk is in really good shape. This side is not. I think that's a piece of wood. But this is rusted out, and it's just the metal, sheet metal on top. The frame rail itself is in good shape, but the metal on top needs to be replaced. Same story over here with the inner quarter. You can see the inner panel here that probably should have been replaced, and you can see the outer quarter here. But again, for what I have into this car right now, it's in really, really good shape. It's the back bumper, all that's pretty solid. I went ahead and threw on some 17-inch torque thrusts. These will probably stay on the car, but I got to get some bigger tires for them. These tires are way too small. They're like I think they're like a 215, 45, 17. They're way too small for this car. So I ordered a 245, 50, 17. Probably look a little better, fill up the wheel well a little more. So yeah, that's the underneath of the car. And the whole point of this project was to show that you can still buy decent projects out there, get them on the road, and either fix them up, sell them, make some money, or just fix them up and, you know, make them your own. The best projects to find are ones like this that somebody already started and then just lost interest in. That's essentially what happened. This guy had several cars, several really nice cars, but he had just completely lost interest in this one and sat it on the side of his house. So finding deals like this is probably the best way to do it. And like I said, I think for a minimal amount of money, I can get this thing running, driving, back on the road, and potentially double my money, or just keep the car and have a nice little driver for the weekends and take the kids out, throw them in the back, and just have a good little car. It's not perfect by any means. I mean, the paint's not that great. The body's looks decent, probably 30-footer, but it's something you can take out, drive, and not care if it gets a scratch or a dent or whatever. But so that's the plan. So stay tuned over the next week or so and see the progress. First thing to do is going to get it running. Make sure the engine works. If the engine doesn't work, then I gotta, change the whole plan. But I think this engine will start up. It will run. Kind of go from there. I have most of the parts for all the front end. And I believe those are sitting over there on the floor. These are all the parts that I kind of went through. What came with the car, there's still some other stuff I got to go down and get. But all in all, I think it's a doable project to get it running, driving, and roadworthy in just a couple weeks. There's a Good Guys event here in Colorado. I believe it's on the 8th, 9th, and 10th. And that's the goal, is to get this thing running, driving, and take it to Good Guys. Whether it has a for sale sign or not, we'll see. But I think it'll be a fun little project. And at the end of it, we'll go over everything I had to put in it money-wise. And I'll show you that, for a reasonable amount of money, you can still have a cool old, hot rod for minimal dollars, especially in today's market of what things cost. So stay tuned with me over the next week or so, and we'll see how it goes. I'm out.